I think he is. When you, before your 25th already scored at the marker 100 goals, and I think you are already there. But I think don't be satisfied with that. And I think he wants, in the end, it's about how many trophies you win with your team, with your club, and I think he can develop his game even more. When you see now he makes 2 headers, for instance, and we worked a lot of that. I notified it from the start. His heading has to improve, and he worked on it, and you see what's happening. And there's also, I think, mental. I think he's much more consistent and reliable and resilient. So I'm really happy with the progress. So I think he is, for me, he's already a great player, but there's still a lot of room for improvement, and where it ends, I don't know, but it will be fantastic. It will be a fantastic career, I'm sure. We defend with 11, so I'm happy with all of the pitch, how they do it. But a part of it, defending the box, when the pressing get beaten, that's a part of it, and they do it well. And we have a massive keeper. He's really composed, really controlled. So he's really had confidence, let it come, and he makes some great saves. But when I see how the back four is defending the box, really good, cooperating really well, closing gaps, supporting each other, covering each other, and go for the battles. Give everything in battles, and that's what they're doing, and that gives a good spirit and a fight to the team. And so everyone has his own opinion on it and his own philosophy. For me, it's first, from a goalkeeper, is you have to protect the goal. So you make sure you don't concede goals. And in that fact, he's magnificent. And on the feet, for me, he has the capabilities as well. And I think when you see this season, he is progressing from game to game in that part. And it has to do not only with the keeper, it has also to do with the one in front. And how do you give the keeper, how do you give him the options to bring passes in? Because when they don't run free or in the wrong moment or in the wrong positions, then he doesn't have the options to pass around. But I'm convinced he can do it, and I think the games so far they proved that, and I think he will improve from game to game in that part.
He still has a year after this if you take the option, but his contract expires at the end of the season. Is that something that you want to get sorted out? You want him to stay here as your goalkeeper?
What we said, this issue about negotiating from the whole squad, we said first we're focusing in this part of the season on the games, and when we're coming to an end of this part of this block, we go into World Cup, obviously, and of course we have to think about that. And in the background, of course, we have our strategies how to deal with it. But it's quite clear, and I already emphasized it several times. I'm really happy with David. He's a great goalkeeper. He's only 31, and he's fit. He can progress even more. He was already impressive good for Man United, and I think he will do in the future as well. I call him so it's the cement between the stones. Is that good? Cement between the stones. I think he's in and out of possession, and he makes such a difference to a team. He gives a team dominating. He gives a team that the opportunity to dominate the game in and out of position, because he can read the game and he makes the right decisions. He's pointing players in the right position. He's anticipating in and out of position, and finally he sees also the pass between the lines. But for me was one of the highlights from this game, the brilliant opening from him to Dalot in the first half. And so he's a top player, and I'm really happy to have him here. Yes, I think he's developing quite well. From the start, I think he could see he has his power, his strength, his physical power, what he can go, what he can bring in his attacking game. But I think he is progressing game from game in the defending part as well, in finding his position, anticipation, cooperation in the back four, cooperating with his winger. So he make really good progress, and I'm happy with that. Yeah. It's a nice compliment, but I also see still a lot of room for improvement in our game. And we have to, if we want to compete for the top 4 positions, then we have to improve. For instance, first half, I think we have to dominate more on the ball, to bring ourselves in better positions between the lines. When you see second half, definitely, we were, I think, quite poor in possession. There was a lot of space on the pitch, and we give the ball too easy away. Many wrong decisions. We go direct for goal instead of keeping the ball. You have to outplay them. When you get so much space, you have to make that second goal, because then games going to be more easier. But I think it's also a skill from a team, if it's necessary, to protect your box, to survive an opponent who come and go for the equalizer, and definitely that's a skill. So there are some positives, but also still a lot of negatives in our game, and we have to see that. So in analyze, and we have to work on that. And today he was not, he could not play. I don't think it's a huge problem. I think in a couple of days he can recover. So I hope he will be available for Thursday in Sociedad.